Hey there, everyone. Well, it's a Saturday sometime in June 2022, late June. I think it's the 25th. At any rate, I wanted to talk a little bit about authenticity today. And I wanted to start off with kind of a metaphor by bringing up music, I guess. And also to make, I guess, a bold claim, but one I've been thinking about for a long time, which is that people don't want the truth. They want a really comfortable lie posing as truth. And people are willing to accept that lie so long as it relates to their lifestyle and what they think is correct, their own morality and their own expectations of being human. I wanted to start off by talking about music as kind of a metaphor here. This video is not about music, but I was thinking the other day about when I was younger and how many of the controversies surrounding music had to do with people faking their way, such as Milli Vanilli is the perfect example. I'm sure many of you are well familiar with the Milli Vanilli story, but these two guys, were kind of the. I'm not sure. I think they were from Jamaica, but I'm not sure. But they were just pop stars who popped onto the scene and became really famous. And during one of their concerts, the CD they were using skipped during their live performance, which wasn't supposed to be lip syncing. And of course, it became really apparent instantly that they were lip syncing and basically just tanked their career. But on the other side, they kept playing and people would still go see them because a lot of people don't care. They don't care if you're authentic or not. They just want to hear what they want to hear. And people will make any excuses in their mind like, oh, well, the intentions were there. So many people got caught lip syncing. But as time moved on through the early 2000s, a lot of folks talk about auto tune today, not realizing that it's not actually, when you hear the voice change through the different, notes, what a lot of rappers use, extreme auto tune, what it's really called is pitch correction. And it's software that, when it's cranked up way beyond its normal use, then you can hear it. Let's put it this way. Most music uses pitch correction. Almost all musical artists will tweak notes and use pitch correction software in their final mixes when they're recording. On top of that, now they even have software where you can correct on the fly, where you go to see your favorite pop artist, you spend a bunch of money, they're singing on stage, they hit a sour note, that auto tune instantly makes that note sound normal. The point being that when auto tune is working correctly, you can't even tell it's there. But even if you know it's there, a lot of people are cool with that. And that's fine, because it's a tool that the musicians use to bring a certain, perfection to their performance, if you will. And I'm not here to fault it or have an opinion on that aspect. But what I realized is that we have auto tune politics as well. That most people are willing to believe a lie if it's comfortable to them and don't really care, even if the people that they respect, the people that they vote for, completely bullshit them and lie to them and they find out later. And I would think that there would be kind of a little more expectation from elected officials, but apparently we've just kind of come to the point where we just expect politicians to be dirtbags, and that's unfortunate. People like fake, and I feel like we are afraid of honesty. And this is the other component of this. It's not just that people like their fantasies, it's that when their fantasies are broken, they get very angry. And years back, I remember thinking about this when it came to religion and why. I thought, why do so many people who are very extremely religious despise science? Even though science was never intended to compete with religion. In fact, science was originally a branch of Christianity, if you will. Science itself was used through all religions, but as a way for people to understand the world around them better, because they didn't think that you had to believe one way. Understanding the world was important. As people started to discover new realities about the world, you'll find that people went into denial. Even the church, suppressing the telescope. And, the issues with, I think, Galileo and Copernicus, and the fact that new discoveries were ridiculed and eventually just became norm. We are so confident that our beliefs are the right ones that we're unwilling to listen to anyone else. No thinking required. And this arrogance and hubris that we have about many, say, science itself these days is very similar to the way that religion has had the same hubris and arrogance in the past. So I think it comes down to the competition of truth and what is truth. Because people are often arguing about which truth is true when they're both false. That's the conundrum. That when religions are arguing amongst themselves about which is the ultimate and the one only religion, they're all wrong. They're missing the whole point. Same with politics. If you really think that you're going to get rid of left and right politics, that's like saying we're going to get rid of the left and right hemispheres of our brain. It's just not doable. People are not homogenous. We don't all want to be the same. We want to be unique. We want to be different. And a lot of us crave and desire the truth, right? The real truth, whatever it may be. I'm not here to tell you what it is because I don't know. I only know the truths that I hear. But they're constantly on a moving scale, a moving target. But I've found that a lot of people I meet don't want the truth. I was under the impression that all people wanted to know the truth about life as much as they could. Not all, but at least a majority of people. I was wrong. I stand corrected. Many people I've talked to just want a collective, comfortable delusion that they can fit into their group, feel that they are either going to heaven or that if they don't believe in God, then they believe that they're the greatest businessman alive, whatever it might be. There's always something that drives people that makes them carry on, carry forward. And often our beliefs, whether it's belief in achievement or belief in heaven or just belief in finally meeting someone, whatever it might be, those beliefs are a hope that we can continue to improve as individuals. And sometimes something comes along to knock that down. This old saying I came up with years ago, it was like, I can't recall what it was, having something to do with, people don't want, how science ruins all the fun. Okay? You start learning about something. And so over the years, you find out, oh, maybe something I believed was true wasn't true. Or, somebody will say, here's the real truth behind that. And people will be like, why tell me? I'd rather just kind of believe it as an old wives' tale. And the interesting thing is that you come across things like, man, the Big Bang Theory. Not the show, but the actual theory, which the science does not agree with. And over the past several years, astrophysicists have had to reckon with this. And many have admitted, okay, our models were wrong. The Big Bang didn't happen. Which is something I always suspected. Even understanding redshift, which is, galaxies moving away from each other and it causing this redshift. Our hubris and arrogance in thinking that we really understand the birth of the universe and where it came from and how big it was is preposterous. It's always seemed preposterous. And to me, the belief in a Big Bang from something the size of a pinhead was just as dumb as the belief in God making the earth in 7 days. But maybe somewhere in the middle lies the truth. But I saw that science had tried to really kind of corral this truth that the Big Bang existed. And now, the amounts of lithium in the universe don't add up to what their models say. And there are too many points to prove that it probably is not as they think. Still, some will admit that, and many scientists will be in complete denial. They will ignore the new information. They will say it's wrong or it's flawed, and they'll continue to experiment and use their collective bias to try to prove themselves. Even when you're shown right in your face that your theory is wrong, you're still willing to believe. And why should that be any different in science than religion? It's the same sort of a belief. It's what you do. It's your thing. So I think in order to get past this, we have to balance our arrogance with a little bit of temperance and humility. So balance our arrogance and hubris with temperance and humility, which means you don't have to be a pacifist. You don't have to always just bend over for other people's ideas, but also don't assume that everything you believe is correct. And maybe that brings us to the fact that we should listen more to each other. And something that I heard earlier, somebody pointed out, is that we all need a foil. A foil, as in, I guess our not our enemy, but somebody who will challenge our thoughts, whether that be a husband or a wife or a friend or a relative, whoever it may be, somebody who will challenge our thoughts when we're acting too arrogant, we have too much hubris, and give us a new perspective. I feel like we really kind of cater to each other's beliefs a little too much, and I think if we're all honest with ourselves, if we're not attached to our ideas and what we think we believe, then we can discuss it without getting frustrated and feeling like people are personally attacking us just because they don't agree with our beliefs on something in life. And on another note, science is no better equipped as a whole to deal with this than anything else. I'm not denying science has brought us some amazing things, but religion has brought people much comfort. So I'm saying we keep both and we learn how to utilize them both properly. Curious to hear your thoughts. Talk to y'all next time. Be well.